John.
Ni hao.
Ni hao. I work in developmental aid. I'm here to talk to you about your Winter Trip project. We think that we should focus our efforts in Albania rather than Africa.
Rather than Africa? We've been going to Africa for quite a while and feel like there's a lot of poverty there and things that we could really change in a positive way.
Yeah, but we think that their focus wouldn't be long term, whereas in Albania, we think they're less likely to destabilize.
So you're saying that you feel like the instability in Africa could cause our projects to go to waste?
Yes, exactly. We think that the civil wars would just disrupt.
Like in Sudan,
yeah.
the Civil War disrupt all our projects?
Yeah. Yes.
Alright, so what about Albania, or what in Albania would you exactly like to see? Because I know it has one of the lowest GDPs per capita in Europe. So how would you change that? Like, what would you do in Albania to help it?
First, we would establish safe transportation in the exporting and importing of goods.
So like freight trains and...
Yeah, like an international airport, trains, yeah.
Or something along those lines,
yeah.
Just to help businesses?
Mm-hmm.
So, how exactly would you do this? And like, well, what sector would you specifically like focus on?
We would focus on like building a railroad to Greece from Greece to Albania, and it probably cost around $80 million. We feel that we should probably get $50 million from the World Bank and $30 million from the USAID.
Any reason for the USAID or the World Bank? Because
like when our railroad would be finished, we would be able to pay back the World Bank and USAID. We think it's a good idea since
it's a good fit.
Yeah, it's a good fit because the U.S. is a very successful transportation country, and we feel that if the USAID helps us out, then Albania could become a successful transportation country.
You're saying you believe that some of the experts from USAID or some U.S. citizens or whoever helped the U.S. they establish great transportation systems.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel like to model after them a little bit?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, thank you. I'll consider it.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you. Come in. Sit on the couch, please.
Thank you. Mr. Christoph, my name is Adrian and I'm from Albania.
Oh, what part of Albania?
I'm from a town called Kuke. It's actually the only town in Albania that has running water 24 hours a day.
So the other towns don't have running water, or?
No, they have specific times where they can go and get their fresh water.
Do some towns not have running water at all?
No, most towns have running water, but they just don't have access.
So besides that, what brings you here to America?
I would like to discuss the focus of your Winter Trip project. I think it should now be focused in Albania and no longer in places of Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
So, in Africa we focus a lot on education. Do you think education would be a good idea to focus on in Albania?
No, because 98.7% of the population is literate and the average student goes to school for 11 years. I think that the focus should be more directed on infrastructure and getting the people jobs.
Really? So specifically, what about infrastructure and jobs per se?
I think that if we focus on infrastructure, the exporting of goods and the transportation of goods in the country would be a lot more effective, and the industries would build up and more people could get jobs.
So the major problem in Albania is jobs.
Yeah.
But I've heard that unemployment's only 12.5%. Is that let's just see a fact, but I don't know if that's completely correct.
That's actually really pretty skewed because over 20% of the population leaves the country to places like Italy and Greece to find new work, and there's about 3.6 million people in the country of Albania. 750,000 are students. 700,000 are registered that work in agriculture, which is basically a self-sustaining way of life. And there's about 250,000 people that are registered as unemployed. That doesn't include farmers and people who just didn't register.
Wow, that's stunning, actually.
Yeah.
So maybe the unemployment rate could go above 30%?
Oh yeah, and the government has predicted to be above 30% some years.
So regarding transportation, what about it would you focus on, or what do you think needs improvement there?
We'd focus on the transporting of goods out of the country, possibly even like railroads and highways to like Greece, to export goods, and the textile industry could pick up, which would boost the overall economy. These jobs they would also be offered would help eliminate thievery and theft and violence off the streets. So
Yeah, and the streets aren't that safe themselves,
No.
aren't they?
absolutely not.
Alright, well thank you. I will consider moving the Winter Trip project to Albania. I agree with you. I feel like if we did move it there, they'd their problems would be shown through globally and perhaps receive a lot more support.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mr. Christoph,
Hello?
my name is Alexander Salabrana, and I'm the ambassador to Albania from the United States.
Alright, take a seat.
Thank you.
What is your business here?
I'm here to try and convince you to change the winter trip destination to Albania from Africa.
And what compelling arguments could you possibly pose for Albania?
Well, to start, I know that the living conditions in Albania are horrible. They hardly have any running water or electricity for the working conditions, which makes them dangerous. And I know that about 80% of the population would rather live somewhere else in Albania, according to a poll taken by a professor in Tirana.
Really?
Yes.
So, if the government can't fix these problems, what makes you so sure that foreign aid will do any difference?
Well, the fact that Albania is an emerging democracy means we have an obligation to help them out. The more democratic nation states there are in the world, the less likelihood there will be a war. Also, the government has tried to make great improvements towards rooting out corruption, which makes them...
So you're saying that because Albania's already been trying, like since the end of the communist control, they've been trying, and you feel like they deserve this foreign aid because they have?
Yeah.
But what about all the countries in Africa who aren't really like in debt? Are they just too
unstable to have any productive means.
To keep all the long-term goals? Yeah.
Exactly.
Alright, so what would you have the foreign aid, what would you direct the money to if you were to receive foreign aid for Albania?
Well, to start, we would want to put it towards railroads or some kind of transportation, because we've just learned that there are petroleum deposits in the northern part of Albania which have not been tapped into yet, and if we had a way of transporting them via like railroad or highway, we'd be able to get them out quickly.
Have these sources been tapped yet, or is there...
No, they have not been tapped. We're waiting to do it until a big railroad has been connected. There's only one railroad right now, and that goes from the capital...
One not domestic railroad, right?
Oh yeah, it goes from the capital of Albania, which is Tirana, to the capital of Serbia, which is Belgrade.
Belgrade. Alright. So, do you think this would help the employment issue?
I do, because to just be another field where people can get work, and there's over 250,000 people that don't, or are registered unemployed, and this could help them.
So would you say this would stop the immigration away from Albania?
It would, because it would provide more jobs domestically.
Alright, well thank you for your time, and I'll think about it.
Alright, thank you very much.
It's as simple as something that nobody knows it. Her eyes are as big as her bubbly toes. On the feet of a queen of the hearts of the cards, and her feet are all covered with tar balls and scars.